What's a cosmetic surgery you would get?
Butt implants.
Breast.
Happiness.
Legs.
I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Why'd you say happiness?
I definitely have an answer too.
Happiness.
How would
And
you-
happiness is not it.
How would you have a surgery of happiness?
Bro,
Inject some serotonin into you or something?
that's what I was thinking. Like,
Maybe hit the gym.
get the
more harder?
depression away. I'd be doing that.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like they'll have those in the future.
Maybe. I mean, they probably. I mean, it's literally
right now,
antidepressants.
antidepressants,
Yeah.
So is
No,
that
I
what
would
you mean?
definitely say double chin. Now that I think about it a little more.
A double chin surgery?
Yeah, just
Like
not.
remove it?
Whoa.
I'm
just a
surprised you
removal.
didn't say OnlyFans, but
That's not a
What's
surgery.
the OnlyFans
I
surgery?
just said happiness.
The OnlyFans package. It just gives you
OnlyFans
everything that
package.
it gives you the
Wait,
company pays for it.
Snapchat.
What did
Snapchat
you mean
look.
by that?
I mean, you said happiness. How would you implement that? And you might as well go
Hadi,
out to OnlyFans.
You need butt implants?
I mean, girls like butt. You know, I've noticed it's not about abs or biceps anymore.
I'm
It's
sorry.
the
Didn't you
butt.
just tell me maybe hit a gym once in a while? So
That's
get
for
some-
happiness.
Maybe maybe
Some
maybe for
squats?
some squats. You could also hit the gym for that.
Okay, yeah.
Implants
good
is
point.
easier. Why don't, that's why
Yeah,
people do them,
there
right?
you go.
What was yours?
I said breast.
Wait, why would you?
Shamir,
Whoa.
what are you going to do with all that?
What? Who said female breasts? Just enhance my
Like
male
pecs?
breasts. Pecs,
Oh.
yeah. Make the back.
Oh, you got
you guys
nice
are
pecs.
dirty.
Just say
It's like, no,
Wait, do guys
You
get
literally
that?
said
no.
tits.
I said breasts.
They do
Breasts, but
the
like
I said breasts.
that's still boobies.
they do the
man boobs.
the
Boobs.
Brazilian dudes. They do like the oil injections.
Oh yeah, the
injections.
The
Then they get-
Centol. That's called
Centol.
Centol.
yeah, and then they look
Are you
like
saying silicone?
No, it's not silicone.
it's like oil. It's literally like oil. It's weird.
They also do the ones to fake abs
Fake
too.
abs.
They put
Oh, yeah.
filler.
Yeah,
They
that's
put
what
filler in
people
their
said Drake
abs.
had.
Yo, you remember the Brazilian guy? He wanted to be Barbie, like Ken doll.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now he's a woman now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's
Oh.
like thick woman, not even like
Like
skinny.
woman.
I mean, yeah, he was. Built.
I saw it. I was like,
I went with. I just want the shimmer legs. If I had the shimmer legs,
Wait, what about shimmer's legs are you trying to achieve?
You want to reduce?
oh no,
Longer?
I
Oh,
guess
you
this
wanna
is
get
not
taller.
a cosmetic surgery.
You want to get taller?
Yeah.
That is a cosmetic surgery.
It is?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
people get that?
Yeah,
I
people get
believe
that.
So.
Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, there is.
Yeah. People get that all the time. People
Really?
fix their whole body, change it all
I
the
know,
No,
but
but
like
height?
for getting taller and
Height,
stuff.
What do they do? Put heels on your feet?
For like metal rods, I guess.
metal rods and stuff like that. Yeah.
Bro, that's not worth it.
There's people who are
I feel like that's gonna mess up like your
Well,
athleticism
joints or
and all
something,
this
yeah.
kind of
so
stuff.
no, there's a lot of people that are born messed up, like their bodies and stuff like that. They don't function properly, so they have to get surgery to like fix their posture, make them a little taller. Smaller people,
But they give them
have
stilts
that.
and stuff too on like one leg. I haven't seen somebody get their leg elongated.
They get it elongated.
I mean, you can put like fake
Yeah.
heels underneath your feet.
There's-
The
you can do
insoles,
literally
you can put the
anything.
inch
It's
long-
2021. You get anything
That is
done.
true.
Yeah, I think
Like,
I
that
think
is
how
true.
Prince used to do it. You know how Prince would wear like the super tall.
Yeah.
Are they stilettos?
I mean, they're just
Your
heels.
soles are
Just-
just like
Stilettos are skinny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
it was
heels.
just like really big
Wedges.
Yeah,
Platforms.
wedges.
Platforms.
Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, guys, welcome to another episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shamir.
Oh, I'm for us,
I'm Amber.
and we got a special guest today, Poloman, return to Poloman, Hadi.
man.
Let's
Yes.
go.
He's been here before, but we wanted him on the new set.
Episode
so.
99.
This
I
is
still
Mamu,
remember.
actually.
Episode 99.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Still remember.
This is the
Our
strangest
Mamu.
and greatest podcast in the game. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. If you'd like to email us or send us your music at strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com, you can. And you can also get dope merch from our Strange Flavors store, strangeflavors.store. And if you'd like to support this podcast, there's a link down below and be part of Strange Flavors Town. And if you can see on the set, we have Strange Flavors Town sign right here. Strange Flavors Town includes Bobber's Bagels, Freehouse Falafels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Aslam's Apples, Shamil's Shawarmas, and Irha's Ices. And
Wow.
you can be also on this board. Actually, we don't have enough space, but
It's actually a pretty fire board.
we got a new space here.
New set,
New set.
first time. Check it out.
It's beautiful over here. Ooh,
See that?
Ooh, look at the lights. Let's go.
Yes.
It turned into a club. Let's describe the set. We got like this nice sign right here. Strange Flavors decal.
I mean, you
Every
guys
guest.
know before we actually did the look of the whole thing, we were working behind the scenes to make sure that the equipment was all good. We got Hassan in the building. He's been killing it from the producer chair over there. And so we wanted to up the rest of the set. Now we're going to be able to do more. And this is all thanks to Strange Flavors Town supporters, patrons, all of that. So, of course, you know, we got the sign up and all of that. We got the wall of flavors over there.
Yeah, so after every episode, we took their picture with a Polaroid and then they signed their flavor. And so now we put all of them in the wall in order. And so we'll add a lot more. And then we also have like these nice foam acoustic things.
How come there's a random gap over there?
Oh, that's two we're missing.
Two we're
We
missing.
don't know where they went.
Yeah, they disappeared.
So we still have to fill in like a bunch more
It's probably
Yeah.
the gins.
that are missing there.
The
But-
gins? We had gins on our podcast.
You got the Carolina Reaper. Are
Yeah,
you
man. It looks so ugly. I don't remember. Damn.
That's a good flavor though.
It is.
It's
man.
cool because like you can go up to the wall of flavors and look at like why did this person pick fudge swirl or why did that person
Who
pick
picks
like
sesame like that?
Yo, you can't take shots at the
Yeah, you can't take shots at-
because someone might be like, yo, why do you pick Carolina Reaper? But
Yeah, that is true.
it's a good thing to
No, it's nice. It's unique. I like it.
Yeah. What do you think of our set? You're like the first person to be in here.
first person that
So
has
I'm
been
into
here for the
renovations. You all know I do renovation this past quarantine. I think it's really nice and unique. I like
Wow.
the whole, the soundproof going on and this
Yeah.
colorful. It matches your, especially those mic covers. I noticed the first time you guys got it.
Not even the decorations.
It matches
Well, I guess it's
everything
decorations.
overall. It like enhances everything. I
Yeah.
really like it.
Yeah.
It was the first step to
Yeah.
the rest of this. So.
You like
we
the
upgraded
cheapest
from
part.
socks to these mic covers, and then
oh yeah, we used to
everything
put
else-
socks
Oh, yeah.
on the mic covers.
Oh
Dirty
yeah, I remember
socks.
that.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
I think I asked about the last one. and a best part of the show is DJ Ren.
DJ Ren.
DJ Ren.
I'm a big fan.
You like DJ Ren?
I'm a big fan. I met him on Shamir's Twitch. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job at
He's
producing
doing a good
the
job.
show. So thank you for that.
Shout out.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, thank you for being here. This is another strange exchange that we have going on where we just hit up a bunch of different topics to get everybody's opinions. And Hadi has some strong opinions.
Definitely.
Sometimes we post those IG clips and I see Hadi just going on rants of being like, yo, man, this is how it should be, whatever.
We
But
appreciate them, though.
It's cool because you're from like you grew up different than a lot of like, especially for someone like you when you see, I think your biggest frustration might be with things that are like Gen Z related or
Right.
something that you're just like, yo, like
New
it's never
age
been this
things.
way. Why? Do you feel like you're an old man sometimes or are you like, no, man, like my values are correct?
So, funny thing is, recently I've been hanging out with a lot of 50-year-olds.
50-year-olds.
50, 51. They're family friends, whatever.
Swinging?
No, man, they're married. They're married. We're just
Exactly.
We're just having a nice conversation, and I try to understand their point of view of everything. But when I talk to them, I don't feel old at all. I feel like I'm their age. But when I hang out with you guys, you guys in your mid-20s, I feel like I'm not that old because I can connect with you guys on many terms, like when we go travel. But when I see these Gen Z online and they're posting stuff, that just makes me like angry sometimes. I'm like, yo, like they're all about emotions. They don't use logic. That's why I get angry. That's
It's
why I
funny
get
because
angry.
we have an intern literally listening live, and
But she's pretty smart. I've seen her before.
No, like overall, that's kind of what you experience, which is like,
Right.
if that's what you experience, that's cool. I think also we see, whenever we hear about different topics, whatever, we always see the negativity first.
Right.
So to be fair, like, I mean, we have amazing like fans that are all in that generation or younger, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of smart people, but of course the ones that stick out are the people that like are the ones that are going back and forth, right? Like in a comment section, you always see people fighting and stuff. It's always the dumbest people of like the generations that are fighting with each other, and you're just like, that's how people have kind of labeled them as well. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense. There was
Wait,
what?
if you're engaging in conversation or fighting in our comments, you're not the dumbest people of your generation.
No, I'm not saying ours.
No, I
I'm
know.
saying like when you see a TikTok, for example,
Yeah.
and then you see people fighting on there, or just anything on Facebook that pops up, you always see
Oh, high key, our Strange Flavors TikTok with Harry Styles too.
that one was
That one
not
sticks out
bad.
in my
That
head
was
because I was personally being attacked.
that receives pretty good feedback because it's like it's all about
For you.
evaluating the situation.
All the comments were like, Frost dropped this, and it was like a crown, and then it was like, that girl is stout.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, like I fit the Harry Styles aesthetic, except the skirt part of it, but
Right.
the rest of it, I think they were like vibing with it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I don't know if you saw that there was a recent Friends reunion. That originally when Friends was kind of like, you know, when people started watching those Netflix shows again, like Office and Friends was coming up, there was people that were canceling Friends because they were like, oh, Friends is homophobic and it's like not diverse and stuff. But when we saw this reunion, it felt like a celebration of like something that happened then and not new. Like, do you understand that kind of difference of the time?
Yes and no. I remember I wasn't fully into Friends because I was brand new in the US and I was still getting used to everything that was on TV. But Friends back then to me was just like, okay, it's whatever. You know, it's adult life. Everybody is living their daily lives, whatever. But some of the things were off the board. Like, but now when I see the reunion, the only thing I could think of is how well or how bad they have aged. Some of them.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing that stood out to me.
Like physically?
Physically.
Who did good? Who did bad?
The worst one I think is Joey Tribbiani, whatever.
No, he looks like a
He
like
looks
a dad,
old, yeah, no, man.
like at the grill.
It's just I don't know. He's not even that old compared to his cast members, right? He just looks so old and looks like he's just didn't hit the gym, work out. I know he's a celebrity. You get paid to work out. You could at least hit the gym.
Doesn't he have a show right now?
He's been on a few shows.
He was on this
But I
car
think he
show.
has like a popular show now.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the best age, surprisingly, not Jennifer Aniston, the girl
Phoebe?
She
Oh.
looks so good, like for her age.
You don't like Jennifer Aniston?
She's beautiful, but I feel like she was like not aging for a really long time. But like in the last couple of years, she just like dramatically aged. I don't know what happened.
I think Ross.
Oh, he looks good too.
David
He looks good too.
Schwimmer, I think. He aged really well.
Oh, yep, definitely.
Jennifer's
you know-
still popping though.
Who?
Sorry, I'm just looking up everybody. Jennifer's still popping.
She is, but you know, if, I don't know. People say celebrities get their, you know, Botox or something done. I don't know if she has got anything done. I don't really follow it, but in terms of guys who play Ross,
Courtney did. Courtney got a lot of like stuff done.
Yeah, Courtney. You know, the other guy, Chandler.
Yeah.
He went through a lot. I think he was a drug addict or whatever, but he recovered. Good for him.
Yeah.
But I don't think Joey went through any trouble. He should not have been this way. I think he should have been in better shape.
But okay, so if you watch a reunion, you would like Joey a lot.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Okay, because you see their dynamic with each other.
Yeah.
And you see how they interact. And yeah, it is kind of like a little awkward or a little bit sad, I guess, seeing Chandler, like, because you know how people are like, you want to be nice to him because he's went through a lot and he's not like, it seems like he's not all the way there.
Okay.
It's almost a little bit passive, but it's nice that they're all still them.
Yeah.
They went through something and they
are all like the characters and their stories like continuing from Friends. Like,
oh no, so the reunion is not like a continuation of the show.
they're just hanging out together.
Did you see the Fresh Prince one by any chance?
I didn't.
So
I did, yeah.
it was like that where like they just got together.
Okay.
They explored the set that they were at, and then they like did table readings of the same scripts to see
dope.
if they could do it again.
It's a cast reunion.
Right.
Okay.
And they brought back like some people that were, you know, special guests.
Special guests.
They did like a little fashion show of old things that they used to wear. Really nicely put together. Like the Fresh Prince one was kind of boring. And also because Will Smith is so much bigger than the rest of the cast. It's about Will Smith and like Will Smith putting it together and like everything revolves around him. And the show did too. It was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Friends, each person is a lead character, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Especially for the three women, it was like you didn't really see that much. And they were so different and unique and independent in their own ways.
Yeah.
That show, you truly cared about each individual's character, right? So what was cool about this reunion, I thought, was like, you know, like you hear all this criticism about different shows and why they should be this way and why it's like, you know, bad for society and blah, blah, blah. But for people that really like were impacted by that show growing up, like that moment doesn't ever go away. You know how like sometimes you question your own like things that you grew up on, like, oh, you grew up listening to Eminem, but Eminem's this person and he's whack now and stuff. Like he still had a huge impact on me and I'll never forget that, you know? And so for Friends, like watching the reunion, I wasn't even into Friends. My siblings, they love it. But I was kind of always like, it was on. I was like, okay, cool show, whatever. But seeing the reunion in this way of like, what these celebrities, when they were really young, the bond that they built on camera, off camera, and then to remain intact in that way and like reunite after so long, like we will never understand what they went through.
I mean,
you know?
also, if anybody's getting offended by it, they should also be like grateful, because sometimes they're like, oh, we're like stuck in the past, like we need to grow as a society. That shows progression. Like if you're getting upset by what they're saying in that show and you're like, oh, this would never happen now, like why are they saying this? It shows you that society has progressed.
Yeah. And compared to a show like 10 years probably prior to it, it's probably much worse. So you can
Like
know.
another example, you know how they canceled the Looney Tune character Lupui, whatever, the skunk guy.
They canceled the skunk.
Oh,
The skunk. So if you know the anatomy of a skunk, the female skunk actually is very passionate towards male skunks. So every time he saw a cat that looked like a skunk, he said, oh, I want to be more romantic towards the cat. So even though it was a cat and he thought it was a skunk, so he came out really strong, really like a force, predatory. And people are like, oh, that's, the R
People
word
canceled
culture.
a skunk?
The Lapui guy, they canceled him because they thought it was
He got called out for Me Too as
Me
a cartoon.
Too and stuff like that, but they don't understand.
That's crazy.
From his point of view. And back in the day,
Also, doesn't he just read a script? I'm pretty sure he's not like a writer. But I don't know. I don't even know what show
They
this is.
got rid of him from the movie Space Jam. That's all I know.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's so
That's
weird.
so rude.
They could just like change his kind of role and make him less whatever if they really wanted to.
I bet you Johnny Bravo's next.
Johnny Bravo. Yeah, big
I
time.
grew
Johnny
up on him, man. Johnny Bravo is the man.
Yeah. There was the crazy thing is like with that time, right? When we're thinking about like Fresh Prince and Friends and like all this other stuff, for some reason we're like really obsessed with the nostalgia of that time. Like I don't think we're gonna see reunions of whatever, shows kind of like we were watching in middle school and stuff, because we're seeing these people all the time anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're kind of obsessed with that time. Maybe because it was like right before social media took off. Well, it was way before that.
Yeah.
But-
well, there's also a huge thing, especially about America, post 9/11, right? Like before, the reason we value 90s a lot is because like it was the pre 9/11 era, and like everything was, in that era, everyone thought, it was a beautiful time and everything. And everyone's still 20, 30 years later are still like 90s. So people always say like,
Was that really relevant to 9/11 though?
what?
Like the love for the 90s?
I think it might go with like the love for
Like post,
the country,
post,
love
post
for each
9/11,
other.
Post
all these-
9/11, like the country changed. You can't deny that, right?
I think my last podcast when I was with you guys, I mentioned I was in Chicago when 9/11 happened, and things did change for me in terms of how people started viewing me, because I was the minority. It was only like 3 Pakistani kids in the whole school, and there were a lot of Hispanics, and majority of them were just white people, and it was different. It changed. Literally, it changed everything for me.
Yeah. So like, I mean, we were young, so probably like we still felt it. I mean, I still felt
Yeah.
it. But I think especially for the older generation, and the reason why everyone references the 90s is because like after 9/11, like the 2000s and stuff like that, it was, people enjoyed it and stuff, but there's still this trauma that a lot of the US had after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's like I'm realizing is that, as more, I guess more critical and more opinions we hear about every little thing, like everything gets put under a microscope immediately, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
where then this show and like any other show was on TV, and maybe you talk to your friends about it or something, but like you're not really hearing a bunch of opinions out there. You're getting an overall audience reaction. You're seeing these celebrities posted up in magazines and everywhere. And I think this like the amount of fame was also different. Like that level of fame of not being reachable is very different than like now
Yeah.
you can just, tweet or comment on anybody's thing.
Yeah.
I guess Drake tries to like separate that a little bit, because he turns his comments only so that like his friends, his followers can comment on it. So there's that kind of like, prestige level. But then it was just like, you don't have access to these people. You don't have, like, the show is what it is. And like for a lot of people, it was one of those shows that people would come home and they would just like turn on and they felt like they belonged somewhere. Like people were sharing stories of like, yeah, this changed for me in this way, and like I didn't have any friends, or like I found my love in this way. I had a group of friends that were really close and we all separated. And like I just think that like as we hear more opinions and more critique of everything, whenever something means something to us, like it shouldn't affect anything.
It's like when I was in high school, I used to watch Naruto. It's a really old show, and there's one character, Rock Lee, and Rock Lee and Jiraiya are two of my favorite characters. But initially, first few seasons, you see Rock Lee struggling through a lot of things, and I could relate to it. And till this day, I'm like in my 30s. Till this day, I show my friends. I'm like, yo, this is the best moment in anime when he drops the weights.
Yeah.
I showed everybody. They're like, wow, what is this? And I tell them, they're like, oh, you're a nerd. I'm like, it's okay. It has impact on my life.
Yeah.
Like it showed you, anime, it showed you that hard work pays off. And in real life, it does too. What I've accomplished in my life, I'm like, yeah, I'm not the smartest person, but I'm definitely the harder one out there. So I work hard and to get what I want. And that had an impact on me. And till this day, forever, I'll tell everybody. His little brother started watching too, right?
Yeah.
That's so far. I love that because like you never know what is that one thing and why that moment happened. But like, yeah, there's like so many times in my childhood where I saw something. The first time I saw it, like as a kid, you're blown away by something.
Yeah.
You don't know why, but like you grow this obsession with it and it changes the trajectory of your life, literally. Like now we see so much content and just things differently, and we're older, we're able to evaluate it differently. As a kid, you don't know as much.
Yep.
And it's just like the one thing that clicks, like it's over.
Yeah.
For Amber, it was Cadet Kelly. Like you never know.
That's facts. That's where my love for boot camp happened.
Okay, so I saw this story on Complex. There was an Indian woman that she died from COVID, right? India had some crazy cases going, so hopefully they're doing better with that now. But basically, she died. She was getting ready to be cremated, and then she woke up.
Damn.
She came back to life.
Wait, stop.
She wasn't actually dead.
Wait. So she just like stopped breathing for a little while and then like hiccuped it out?
No, I'm sure like she showed signs of like passing away.
Yeah, she like became unconscious and then led the family to believe she had passed away.
Can you imagine you're literally getting like either buried or cremated? Cremating is even scarier. Because if you're buried, like, you know, like in Step Brothers, the one scene, he's getting buried. He's like, I'm alive. He comes out like the Thriller music video.
The
But
fact
cremated,
that they have
like, bro,
such
man.
lack of access to like medical care there that like the families are just like, hey, this one seems like not moving enough. Like we'll just have to, because they were like piling bodies on top of bodies there. Like they didn't even have like graves and all that type of stuff. So the fact that they're like,
Hindus don't bury because they don't have any graves.
Yeah, they have to.
yeah, I understand that, but they're saying that there wasn't like there wasn't really even a point to take some of these people to the hospital because they're not getting beds or whatever. So it sounds like maybe a family was just like, oh, this person's dead, and like
She
pronouncing them.
was a grandma.
Yeah,
think she was like
76 years old.
Maybe family thought, hey,
Maybe they wanted to.
When they brought her, they were unable to secure a bed or anything, so they probably didn't even bother trying to get equipment to rely on that. They figured, well, other people are dying. This looks similar, and just went with it.
That is wild, man. And I can't think of like if this has happened to other people, like who weren't actually dead and then just got either like.
They're saying there's stories at the morgue.
I've heard cases where
woken.
I think there's some case of if you're diabetic, if you don't take the insulin, you go into this shock or this coma where you literally it will look like you're dead. Basically.
Like there's no signs, like
There's
your
no
heart's
sign.
not beating.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
it's like that. So
There was a magician. I don't know if it was Houdini or someone else, but there was a magician that used to stop his heart, and it would like for minutes.
damn.
Like that was his trick. And then
David Blaine.
Copperfield?
David Blaine.
Oh.
Yeah, David Blaine.
Him?
He's wild.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Wait,
man.
David Blaine does that too?
Yeah, he like takes his heart out. He stops his heart, like buries himself.
He takes his heart out.
Yeah, there's a part
Like
where he took
fatality on his
his
shoulder?
No, this man is like
Fatality.
insane.
He took his heart out.
Yeah,
Like
whatever.
Mortal Kombat going on.
He'll like stick like a sword like through his arm, like into his hand. And,
I've
like,
seen that. It was so funny because he was on Joe Rogan one time.
Yeah.
And he was telling Joe to like stick needles through his arms. And Joe was like, I don't want to do that. And he wouldn't do it. And then David Blaine was like, all right, I'll just do it to myself. And then he started bleeding like a lot. And he's like, oh, something went wrong. And Joe's like, I don't understand. What is the trick here?
Joe
And he
probably
was-
asked him,
Here's an
have you
old
tried
picture, but
DMT?
this is hard.
What the heck?
man?
That's not real though.
I don't know. I've never seen the video, but I like heard that he did.
Do you remember Chris Angel?
Oh, man.
Chris Angel.
Dude, I hated Chris Angel.
Dude, everything was so
The guy
dramatic.
that used to
walk on
levitate.
water.
I feel like she would have a crush on him in high school.
Definitely.
Chris, I need to look him up.
Yeah,
He had the long.
He's
he
not
was-
bad.
He was badass.
yeah, he was badass, but it was like you said, I hated him too. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Well, I just like I didn't like magic because I was always just like the stuff David Blaine does is.
I'm offended that you said that.
Why? You got the same hairstyle as you, the curly hair.
Like, what is
You look
this?
like Blink 182.
He was like an emo guy.
Blink 182. You never listened to them?
But like,
I did.
what David Blaine does is he defies what is possible with your physical makeup, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, holding your breath for a super long time underwater. He's figured out how to do that. He went up like really high on a balloon, I believe it was.
Yeah, hot air balloon.
And like you're not supposed to be able to breathe up there. Like you need oxygen and all that. And like doing things like that, which is not, I don't consider magic. It's just like really phenomenal sort of acts that he's performing. But with Chris Angel and these guys, I was just like, I know that it's not real.
It's like special effects and camera angles.
Right. And it would just like annoy me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
In-
how serious it was.
In college one time, there was like those magicians that come to your school, and
What,
they're
you
just
get a
like,
magician
like
to your school?
Yeah, it was like one of those extra things that they used to have. So I go there and they're like, oh, like who wants to go on stage? And like, you know me, my hand shot up and everybody was like, Amber, like pointing at me. So the guy has me come up and he's like, do you trust me? And I was like, I literally just met you. And he was like, well, you have to trust me. And he puts a nail in a bag that's like, the nail is upside down on a piece of wood. So the sharp point is up.
Yeah.
And he puts a paper bag over it. And he puts my hand right on top of the pin. And he put his hand on top of my hand. He goes, do you trust me? And I was like, no.
The
And
pin
he's-
went through his hand.
and no. And he was like, my hand was under his hand. So the pin would have to go through my hand first.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're going to squish this bag. And like, we're going to like, from our force, we're going to like make the thing go down or whatever. And I was like, bro, like, and I was like hyperventilating.
How old were you?
I was like 21. 21
okay.
is a college.
21 in high school?
Oh, college. It was in college.
I thought you said high school.
And like literally, I'm like hyperventilating on stage while he's like just like pushing my hand down into a needle.
Were you resisting?
Yeah, man. Like I didn't want to like a needle. Like it's a college. It's not like it's like some fancy like
Yeah.
We're not like it's the University of Baltimore, not Harvard. Like I don't know who they're checking to come into our school. Like I don't know who's about to stick a pin through my hand. And then we did it, and I like literally like bursted out in tears afterwards.
Wait, so did you see the pin go through his hand?
No, so I crushed it
There's
down,
nothing.
and
There was
it was just
nothing.
nothing
There's
there.
nothing.
And I was like, "What is this?" Like I didn't
That's
like
not.
this.
I don't like that trick.
I
I
don't
would have
like it.
I wanted it to go through his hand, and then
Look behind your ear and it's like the other half of the
and then you look at yours and there's nothing there. Like that would have been cool.
Man.
Like
And
that.
they're like, "Oh my god, Amber, that looked like so much fun." And I was like, "You do it next time, then. Like, don't, no."
Well, anyways, I hope that grandma's okay.
went off the topic. What if that was her trick? She woke up.
Yeah,
like,
the trick.
surprise.
She goes, Houdini's back.
Houdini's back. It's David Blaine. He rips
Oh
that
my
mask
God,
off.
Yo, dude, I used to love when David Blaine would just stare at the camera, like every time he does a trick. I think he still does
Yo,
that.
I love
right?
his voice. I think it's like
Oh yeah,
like
it's very calm and soothing.
very calm and like straight. Like he doesn't go like excited.
He has a daughter too, and she's really into magic,
Oh,
and he
wow.
doesn't like it because he's like, I don't know what she's gonna try because he does stuff that like could kill him. So it's really crazy.
I only know of him because of the Vlog Squad.
Have you seen him do tricks on Drake and all the rappers?
No, just
And he does
on
it
David
with a lot of
Dobrik and
celebrities.
that.
Those are funny.
His daughter's young. It's like a little girl.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
She
was
does
like
tricks?
She was actually on like the
She's cute.
what's it called, on the headset when he was up in the balloon.
Oh.
And she was talking to him and she was like, Daddy, like you're doing great, like you're gonna beat a world record. And he was like, he could not breathe. He's like, I love you. give the headphone back to the guy, like whoever is supposed to be guiding him. And she's like, okay, it looks really cool from down here. He's like, okay, give it back. I'm like, damn, bro. He's about to kill him.
That's why you don't want kids, man.
That's what you got. That's the reason.
You have liability.
It was that David Blaine video that made me realize I don't want kids. I was on Facebook the other day and I saw this ad that came up for this app called Muslim 3D. So if you see it, it's
It's
like
like Muslim humans.
no, it's like
Why is he walking like?
It's like
It's like
GTA.
He looks like the guy. Like, oh,
But
you're
like at the Kaaba.
At the Kaaba.
And yeah,
concerned.
you can perform like hajj. You can dress
yo,
them
you
up.
get your pink skin color.
You could change your skin color, like your wardrobe. But it's all like halal though, right? And
Yo, hold on. Why does it look like he has superpowers? Why is she running by herself, dude? This is
Bro.
you could see
Sure,
all the
myself.
surrounding area. But
I
I
went
saw
to all
the
these
comments
places.
on this, right? And the people
oh, they
were
got
like,
gin. They got rue, man.
"Oh, that's
Okay.
weird. I didn't even see that."
That was
Wait, they got
legit-
gin in there?
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
end there was a ghost. It
No,
was
no,
a
no,
camel.
that you know what that was? They were recreating a historical thing,
Oh.
so it shows you like,
So it's like a
oh,
visual
like Jesus would
yeah.
have done this,
That's
or
kind
Oh.
of cute
something
for
like that, yeah.
kids.
Huh?
So it's kind of cute for kids.
It's like in
So-
the racing games, you have a ghost car and you have to.
Oh,
beat
Well,
okay.
they
the
do that because they're not allowed to, like, you know, like, have you ever watched a movie that will like surround a story about the prophet?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
because they
but they
can't
never
have
show
any
the prophet.
represented,
Oh.
they have like a mystical music
I
playing
see.
and people
Yeah.
only like hearing what
I
he's
saw,
saying.
yeah, I saw a film one time that they showed the life of the prophet, peace be upon him, and they didn't show the face. They only
Or-
showed like
or
the
voice
back or
or
something. Yeah.
anything.
So it was like you would see the kid up until like when he's older, but you could see everyone else, but you
Everyone
couldn't
else,
see
yeah.
like
Yeah.
what he looked like or anything.
You say
Yeah.
something about comments?
So the comments, like, yeah, they were like, we don't need a video game, like we don't need this and that for Islam or whatever. I thought it was a really good idea.
You see, that's when people don't use logic. Is a lot of people don't have access to go to Kaaba. Like,
Low key,
Yeah.
that's not Gen Z. Those are probably millennials. in
No,
those
they're
countries.
older.
fine.
They're older people.
But they're
They're not
using
Gen Z.
technology. They're
Gen
using
Z would like
technology
this.
to
Yeah.
educate newer generation because a lot of even your generation, like even though they have money, but they don't have desire to go to Kaaba.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you'd be surprised, have no money to even just go there. So I feel like if you can have an experience, like if they make it into Oculus or something like 3D,
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
just walk around, that would be
Those are-
amazing.
There's
all
a-
those places like I went to, it looks pretty accurate.
Yeah. There's a skit on Rami where someone's actually performing Hajj.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the VR headset. He's
See,
like,
I'm
oh,
all
it just
for
counts.
He's like, it counts.
Yeah, because there's somebody with the camera on his forehead.
Yeah.
And he's
Yes,
doing
he's
Hajj
doing
for
it through him.
He's doing it through him.
But I like this because also it gives you practice if like, especially for a
Right.
kid like you were saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I'd never been there, so it actually gives me a little bit of anxiety of
When I
like
went to
I don't know
Umrah-
what it would be
Yeah.
like.
When
so
I went to
all
Umrah,
I know
had
is
to
like
study. Like I studied for like 3 weeks leading up to Umrah, and
all
I
I
had
know
like
is
a
what my parents have
booklet.
told me,
Yeah.
what my friends have said about
And
it.
there's so many things that you have to learn how to say at what point, everything. Like you really don't know, and then you have to like follow
Yeah.
it at
Yeah.
the time. I think that would be so great.
Yeah, that would
it's
be
not
great.
an online game, right?
It could be like tutorial.
It is kind of like a well,
It's not
you
online, right?
It's like a free world where you walk around. What's
Okay.
up?
It's not online though, right? Because I think
I don't know.
I think if it is online, that's where issues come in.
Sure.
Right.
Like people would be
People
trolling.
trolling.
People
Yeah.
would be trolling. I think that's where the fear comes in because they're projecting.
If you
on
just
like,
make it like a sandbox type of game,
Yeah.
and you just download it and practice and play and
Yeah.
download updates, whatever. I think
Then that's fine,
That's
because
Also,
there's
fine.
that's a
limitations,
cute thing
but-
for like kids to be in. Like, there's always like, there's how many like games are there of shooting and this and that and whatever, and parents are like, oh, stop doing that, whatever. Like, I would be happy if my kid was like playing that instead of, another thing, or if they spent less time playing that and were doing that. That's
both.
cute.
So play both.
Play both.
Play
That's
both.
what I'm trying to say.
So you guys were wondering if there's an online mode actually. It says go on a virtual Hajj together, pray with others in the holy mosque, or meet an exclusive online event such as a live lecture given by prominent scholars and spiritual leaders.
Wow.
Wow.
And there's actually so phase 1 is free play, like sandboxes walk around. Phase 2, story mode, customize your character, and it becomes a role-playing game where you begin your journey as an apprentice of Islam. Engaging quests will allow you to discover new locations and objects, and other characters will be aware of you and guide you on your wonderful adventure.
What would your quest be? Memorize a surah?
Well, is it
like-
what
Do
I
this.
read on it was also that like you get to you see reenactments and you follow the journey of like what historical figures would have done, or
That's really cool.
yeah,
like if you actually got to see something play out the way that you would have read it in like Quran or any sort of historical
Class or
book. That would
whatever.
be. I feel like that's really
the
a neat
online
idea.
is just scary.
As long as they're monitoring who's coming and creating names and things
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and they have a really good security feature involved in terms of name scheming and whatever. Yeah, definitely.
But they probably have like what are those people called that
Moderators.
Moderators.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like if we were doing it with friends, then I can see where it's just
Yeah.
like,
And
Like, yo, dude,
yo, why is your character like not?
put a shirt on or
Well,
something.
they might not even have like an online chat. They might just say, do Discord
just
if
do
you
it
really want to
together.
do that.
True.
Or have like the preloaded things like you can
yo,
click
what
a
if you
bubble
find
so
your
someone
wrist
like
on it?
That's why I thought he was gonna go towards. Like you could actually meet up and
Say, hey,
and
we
do
did hajj
something.
together.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Hey,
But then, like her, what's it called? Her avatar doesn't look like that in real life.
Yeah,
Catfish in the Muslim 3D world. I don't know.
that's real.
But speaking of Muslim apps, Mindr has a Bumble feature now.
What?
Like,
What is
like
that?
I'm sorry. Like, you can meet and network with fellow Muslim girls.
Oh,
Wait, so
It's-
Mindr, which is now Salams.
Yeah, sorry. Mindr, which is now Salams, on the actual app. It's the same app. You can switch your mode from like networking and creating friends to back to the
How are you
relationship.
pulling it up?
And so when,
downloading.
no, when you switch the tab, it's people of your own gender that you can like connect with and stuff. And so when
Like
I saw
professional level.
Yeah.
it could be
professional
just,
Muslims. I
Some
think,
people
or
even put it
friends.
on there like I would like to meet some fellow Muslim girls in the area. Like I'm new, whatever. So when I found out they did that, I re-downloaded my app and I like checked it out, and it was so cute. Like all the girls were on there. Like you know,
wow.
like I was just trying to see if I can make friends like that were Muslim.
Hadi's
You
enjoying
gotta-
this too
Hadi's gonna
much.
make a new account as a girl.
Yeah, I'm just doing assume my gender.
Yeah.
Did you assume my gender?
This is Hadia.
I'm gonna go by day. I can just switch.
No, but did you meet anyone?
It was really funny because there's this one girl that looked familiar who I feel like we connected once and we got along really well. So I swiped right on her and she swiped right back and was like, hey, I feel like we met and like whatever. She's like, I thought you were really cool and blah, blah, blah. So we engaged in a conversation. I only swiped right on one person, which was her, but I just like went on to go see it really.
Dang. No one
And-
else was cool?
I mean, I don't
So you
know.
guys actually met in person?
We've met at some point. I can't really pinpoint when it was or where.
Wait, so that means this feature has been out for a while.
No. We met in person at some point.
Like before?
Like before
Oh,
that.
I thought.
The
Oh,
feature
Yeah,
I
came
see.
out.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
And
Number
then-
one, you don't need any more friends.
No, I don't. When I saw
You
that
have
it
too
came
many
out,
friends.
I just wanted to check it out and see what like the
Hype is.
not even hype.
I have an idea for you though.
The
If you're gonna
culture or
Culture,
the
okay.
feeling of it is like
Yeah.
like what's the
'Cause it
bad?
potentially
What's the
could be
bad?
something.
Yeah, like
if you're
what's the
gonna be
bad?
on this app, drop some links. RonalPono.com.
Yeah.
Strange
Strangeflavors.store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
You're
you.
Let's be friends, and then just market the hell out of it.
Yeah, they have a tab that says how I can help support your business.
Oh.
And like
wow.
you can do that. And a bunch of people had like, oh, like you can follow my jewelry page, and it's like blah blah, because you reset up your profile for the friends one, then the one that you have for the, and like it was funny because one girl was like, thank God they have this because the men on here are getting on my nerves and like whatever, and I was like,
Bro, I
"That's
miss
so
being
cute."
on Bumble. I got kicked off of Bumble 2 times.
Why?
Why?
Because I
you're
used it for business. Bumble Biz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got kicked off both times for self-promoting.
I'm confused.
I don't know.
I got
That's
kicked
like-
out of Tinder because they thought I was using Bahubali's picture instead of mine. It was literally my picture. Bro, I was like, what? I mean, it's a compliment, but they got rid of it.
Is that like an actor?
Yeah, he's like a
It's a
South Indian
movie.
actor.
Yeah.
Bahubali.
That's a different issue. For mine, that's like if you walk into a job and then you give them your resume and then you're like, you're not going to get the job because you brought your resume. That's what happened to me.
What did you do? Like put it in your bio or something?
No. So anytime that people would, swipe on me, right? Or I swipe on them, then we exchange information like, hey, this is what I do. What do you do? Right? So every time I do that, then apparently you're not, like, I don't understand what the...
Maybe they thought it was spam.
Yeah, or maybe they reported you. They're like, I don't like this.
Well, people that I've done business with previously, they told me that they've also all gotten kicked off the app. I was like,
And what's
what
the
are they
point?
trying to do? What's
Yeah,
the
what's the
point?
Weird.
It's
you gotta
nowadays-
hop on Mindr.
If
Now-
anybody knows, let me know.
Nowadays, when you match with a girl, is follow my OnlyFans.
I think that there's a niche audience of people that you really associate with.
No,
because-
it's double standards. Like, well, how come those girls are getting kicked off? He got
Whoa.
kicked off. Why aren't they getting kicked off? They're promoting their
Ooh,
business.
And that's
They're
not even on the
doing- hold
business
on.
side. That's not even on the business
They're
side.
promoting their OnlyFans on their dating apps.
yes.
That's a solid point right
That's
there.
a solid
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Either that or Snapchat. And
They
you know
aren't
what
even-
goes on Snapchat?
But
They
why
aren't
is the
even
system
using-
connecting? There's all these things have an algorithm. They're connecting them with you for a reason.
No.
That's not the issue. The issue is the
the
double
issue. Is
standard.
double
What are you
standard.
saying? What are you saying?
I was saying the issue is that the profiles posting the OnlyFans aren't there using the app what it's meant for. They're only just
Yeah, it's
spamming
promoting.
their link to
Right,
everybody.
so that's what you're saying.
Swiping
That's what I'm
right
saying.
on everybody and
That's-
pasting a link everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's double
Yo,
standard.
Hadi's
Yeah.
onto something.
Yeah, and why are they not being kicked off?
Because that's the business.
They're making money. The guys are like,
I'm gonna stand up for the girls
they
just
want the
because there's
Sims.
a imbalance of female energy in
Amber,
here.
that you shouldn't think like that. You should think like, what's the
Objective.
You should support the
I'm
girls
just
that are
trying to
on
be
there
the
trying to
other
get
side
dating.
of the spectrum
you know?
here, okay? Support sex workers.
Like literally, I was talking to this one girl, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I don't think I can meet in person, but here's the link." I'm like, "Okay, really? Not even. I don't have to go to first date. I can see you like fully."
They ain't trying to date.
wait, did she lead you on like, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's
No,
up?
we had a nice conversation.
You had a nice conversation and went with that?
Yeah.
That's messed
And
up.
I was like, oh, we should meet up. She's like, oh, it's pandemic. I don't want to meet, but if you really want to see me, follow my link. I was like,
I thought they just
Maybe
had
that's
it,
how
like,
you
in
have to
there.
do it. Did you have a conversation and then like
follow my link?
Yeah,
and then
like-
give
And
them
then
about
it goes to-
OnlyFans, but then again, it's business.
I've run into that too, where it's just like, damn, I thought we were really connecting.
Right.
And then they just drop link. I'm like, all right, peace.
yeah.
Peace.
Literally. And they don't know I have a lot of friends who can hack OnlyFans. So I'm like, I don't even have to pay for it.
Wait,
Hadi says makes a great point, and then goes on to this thing.
I'm the Robin Hood of OnlyFans. You want it? I got you.
Okay, I want to ask you another thing. So with the Friends reunion, right? People were really inspired by the moment where Monica proposes to Chandler in the show. Because Chandler was like, he was trying to figure out how he's supposed to do it. He was too anxious about it. Monica's a very strong-minded person who, she wears the pants in the relationship, basically. She eventually proposed to Chandler. And there was girls on the reunion that, like, fans that they were asking, they were like, yeah, like, I got inspired from that. Like, women being independent, just making their own choice and, controlling the narrative and all that stuff. And then I saw this Instagram video recently. I've seen a few of them where like the woman is, down on a knee proposing. And sometimes the reaction of the guys is like,
Awkward.
it's awkward.
Yeah.
If somebody did that to you, I feel like
First of all,
oh my gosh.
First of all, if you notice, when a guy proposes to a girl, like everybody's far away, they're giving their moment, they're alone, one-on-one, very intimate.
not always. Like
No,
sometimes they
there's
do it in
a
a
lot of,
crowd.
like-
Majority of the time.
Sometimes they do it at
No,
an
the
NBA
girls
game and
came-
get
They
rejected.
do like even those a group that start dancing.
I mean,
What is
that's
that called?
like extra. I'm talking
A
about like
flash mob.
majority.
A flash mob.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm talking about majority of the people, right? But with girls, like these recent videos, her girlfriends and her male friends, they're like hyping her up, like, yo, you go, girl, you.
As
and
they should.
And the guy is like, the awkward is like, what should I do? Like he's just confused. Like, I would.
Okay, so do you have an issue with the girl proposing to the guy? Like, are you like, that's not traditional or anything like that?
The way they're doing it, I feel like it just comes out as very desperate. Like she looks like she's like smiling, and then she goes on her knee. I'm like, dude,
Well, don't all like proposals go like that
Yeah.
kind
not with guys.
Why?
With guys, they're like, okay, with guys you can say get out. Like I don't want it. And there's so many videos
Wait.
out there where girls say no to guy, and
You're
guys
just
like, okay,
saying
this
so?
is it, and he walks away.
Oh, okay.
If a guy, I've never
Like
seen
the ones at the NBA games where like
Yeah.
the kiss cam comes on, proposes, and then she gets rejected.
right.
I mean, half of those are fake, man.
Yeah, probably, but it's still
But
funny.
for me, if I have friends who like, hey, I'm interested in marriage. It was like one-on-one conversation, and we were like longtime friends. And I'm like, look, I don't think I'm ready. We were that level of conversation. Now, if a girl does that, I'm 100% okay with that. But for you to go in public and have your girlfriend, boyfriends, and you hype you up, and you're making the guy feel awkward, like I don't know.
I kind of get what you're saying. Like the girl's like, oh my God, like they have a typical reaction
Yeah.
when they're being proposed to, like, oh my God, or like they start crying, whatever. Like there's no typical guy reaction when they're being proposed to because
Well,
like
it's
it
because
doesn't
it's
happen
not
often.
enough. But also, can I just say that sometimes the girls look uncomfortable in proposals because I think it's like a moment of a lot of emotions. So sometimes in those proposal videos, the girl does look like she's like unhappy or like she'll
Yeah,
be
that
like
happens.
crying and like whatever. And sometimes it doesn't always look like so happy, whatever. It's
No,
like, oh,
I've seen a
sis,
ton
like,
of those where it's just like, was she ready?
Yeah.
Here's my issue with the video that you're talking about, right? It seems like if you're gonna do that from either perspective, there needs to be some sort of communication. Mm-hmm. Like
you have to
if-
agree
like,
that
well
y'all want to
planned.
get married to begin with.
like in the Friends episode, right? Chandler knew that he is like like Monica's the more dominant one, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have that sometimes where the female or whatever is more dominant than the other one. Sometimes there's like a leader of the couple. And so with this couple that was on Instagram, right? And some of the other ones I've seen, it seems like, do we know the roles? Are they going to be like, would he be comfortable if I proposed to him? You know, and that's where I'm just like, the dude looks uncomfortable and embarrassed, and then his boys are going to tease him about it and stuff. If he's somebody who's like, if he's somebody who's just like, yo, I got proposed to by my girl, like that's dope.
Yeah.
If he can rock with that, that's cool. But like from his reaction and a lot of the ones that I see, sometimes it's just
agree. Like it comes down to like masculine, feminine energy. So when she's on her knees taking the role of male, masculine energy, the guy, like you said, her boys, his boys probably like, yo, she's the man. Like, what are you doing? Like, maybe that's why it depends on the guy. If the guy's very comfortable with who he is, like if he's very like, you know what, I don't care, I don't give a damn. Like, we'll do whatever. I'm sure he'll be okay with his girl getting on one knee and proposing. But you gotta understand your partner. Like you said, you have to plan it ahead. Understand would my, like if I was a girl, like would my man be okay if I were to act like another man? You know what I'm saying? So
Shamir, would you be okay with getting proposed to by a girl?
There was this dude, he like asked me, he was like, this dude, he didn't propose, but he asked me, he was like, yo, are you gonna ask this girl to prom? Right? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask this girl to prom. And then a couple of days later, this girl proposes to me.
So this is a good early on.
And
Proposal.
and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, thank you. I appreciate it, you know. And it was just us two. So like it wasn't awkward. There's no like public anything. And so then I was like, I don't want this to be her memory of like her, you know, like girl, I know she's the type of girl that would like want to be proposed to, but she flipped the script because, you know.
She wasn't sure if you were gonna
Yeah, she wasn't sure. So then I was like, I re-proposed and just to make sure she had that memory.
Okay.
That's nice of you.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Like some people, they want like a big grand old like wedding and proposal and things like that.
And like I didn't care too much for it, like for on my end. Like, oh, I got proposed to, wow.
But so if it happened to you again later in life, like that wouldn't be an issue because you had an early access to that sort of experience.
Like I would feel bad. I was like, holy shit, like I feel like this is more important to you than it is to me. So like let me one up that. And I did.
Yeah.
So. I just like, I guess I want to know the behind the scenes. Like somebody needs to like let me know the conversations that happen behind the scenes.
So you want your man to tell you
would you ever propose to your man?
Personally, I would not.
Okay.
Amber's the type you would want like something done.
Yeah,
right?
I would like want you to put in some effort, but also I would definitely not want you to propose without absolutely knowing that I'm 100% on the same page. Because if you bring my family and friends out before I'm even okay with it, like I'm really uncomfortable. And you made this public.
Would you say no in public?
Oh no, I would say yes and then go behind the scenes. And I would definitely say yes in public though.
Yeah.
But I think that like I'm curious as to like why. Not that like, you know, like what's the reason? Was that important to you? Like that's not a typical thing. So was there a thought process behind it?
I think that I don't know about that story particularly, but I know that for a lot of people, when they see something that excites other people online, we're like, oh, girls are doing this now, like I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Then they get excited and then they're like, oh, this is like, we can record this and post this on social media. And it becomes more about that rather than like a real conversation and like how is this going to affect the other person? And like, sometimes it gets in the way of like the rest of the relationship. Sometimes it breaks it off. Like, why did you think that was okay?
Then you should also know your man enough too, right? Like if I'm about to go and be like, imagine I am down with it and I do want to propose to a man. Like I have to be mindful enough to be like, who is my man? What type of person is he? What is his personality? Like, is he going to enjoy this moment? Is this going to make him feel less than? Like, what's his response to this going to be? Like, is he comfortable with this? And if people are respecting what their man would like in the same way that you would want, you know, in the same way that I would want my man to respect what I like, I think that that's important. So I'm curious about what the conversation is behind the scenes.
I also feel like it has to do with your friends too. Like, you know, some girls tend to hype up their girlfriends a lot. Like, yeah. For guys, they're straightforward. Like, oh man, you're stupid, you're dumb. For girls, they're like, yo, you're a queen. Yes, queen. Like, they hype.
I mean, but when it comes to guys, I'm just saying, like, as a girl, if girls saying I'm gonna do XYZ for a man, girls will be quick to be like, girl, don't do that for a man. Like but a lot of times girls they're just like, yeah, girl, you got this. Like
they're not straightforward. I've noticed that.
I know what you're saying because like I do see that sometimes where sometimes girls will just confirm
hype each other up, whatever,
and affirm to
But
like whatever
mostly
they're
when
saying.
for things that doesn't
it depends
matter.
on your friends too. But
I
Yeah.
think that's mostly for things from what I've witnessed for things that don't matter. Like if, for example, somebody's like, "Oh my god," like for example, like pictures are like the most easiest thing, right? Like you can hype a girl up all day over pictures because the worst that you're doing is making them feel better, like from a comment. Like even
Yeah.
if it's fake, like there's no negative intention there. But if, for example, you lead somebody astray in the advice that you give for the sake of hyping them up, I think that's a little more rare / wrong as a girl to do to another girl for the sake of hyping them up. I think that's doing more damage.
yeah, I think there's always a way to be honest without like, you know, making them believe that you either agree with them or that like you validate their thinking or their idea. And some people just want to be validated.
Definitely.
And like you need some awareness in that aspect too.
Yeah.
What was your thing that you had for us?
Okay.
We'll end on this one.
Okay. So like you guys all know me personally pretty good. Hadi a little less, but you still know me. What do you guys think would be the absolute worst thing that you can say to me? Not like you personally, but like a man could say to me on a date.
So
Just like put it out from like the, you know.
Well, we had a recent story. I guess some was saying like maybe calm down. Somebody said something like that. So maybe
Yeah.
that's on top 3, maybe top 5
Maybe.
list.
Yeah.
I would say act more feminine.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
You would say.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, someone else?
Oh, so
I need to just really piss Hadi off and just be like sitting with my legs wide open. Like just like really like.
man spread.
Yeah. It
to
doesn't have to be me. Yeah.
To piss
probably
Amber
me.
off on a date.
Or like, what's something that you probably shouldn't say to me?
I mean,
Maybe.
I think like if somebody told you how you are, and like, you know, you are this.
Yeah.
I think that gets to you the
Or
most.
also like maybe if someone like makes fun of your physique or like the way you like lift weights or something, or maybe yoga or something.
What happened?
So, okay, I just want to preface it by saying that I feel like I wear off a lot of people or a lot of men based off of the energy I put out. It's like, I read this thing yesterday where it was like, before my insecure man used to keep me from trying to post on social media. Now my social media keeps the insecure men away. Right. And it's the idea that like,
That's pretty good.
yeah, like the type of people you could probably get a gist from me enough from social media to be like, this girl is like this, you know? And so this wasn't a date, I should clarify in case a person's listening, but I went to dinner with somebody.
Does
recently.
that other guy know that?
I don't know. So I went to dinner recently with not the intention of it being a date,
Yeah.
but we got there and there's a DJ playing in the background. Didn't know there'd be a DJ at dinner.
And he proposed to you.
There's a DJ playing and
He was playing Ratchet song and you got like, yeah.
it was like a Nicki song playing in the background or something. And I just smile and I like make a gesture towards the DJ and then I continue to look at the menu. And then they were like, yeah, oh man, I hate female rappers.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
He said, I hate female rappers, like
Yeah.
all of them?
Yeah, all of them.
If
Like-
you would have said Nicki Minaj,
No, yeah, like, okay, fine. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's fine. He's like, I hate female rappers. And I was like, oh, and I kind of got frozen for a second. I was like, do you know? Hold on.
Wait, does this person know you?
Yes, has known me, has engaged in conversation with me for like 2 to 3 years, like over social media, watches all of my stories, replies to a lot of my
he's seen
stories,
your Instagram?
has been following me and responding to my
I was gonna
stories
say
for
because
years.
you post like really ratchet songs and if like damn, he said
right.
that.
And mind
Wait,
you,
who's this dumbass you went to? No, I'm kidding.
like properly engages with all my stuff, had
Yeah.
been responding to my stuff for like years at this point. And so when he said that, I was like, really? Okay, why? And he was like, they're just so raunchy. And I was like, oh, okay. So like what type of like rappers do you like to listen to? And he was like, oh, you know, like And I was like, do you like, I don't know, like Wayne? He's like, yeah, of course. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, and I started like
Wayne.
listing out rappers like Lil Wayne and like just like classic male rappers in my head. He was like, yeah, I love all of them. And I was like, they're not clean. Like they're all raunchy. He's like, yeah, but like it doesn't sound right when it comes from a woman's mouth.
So basically,
On a date with me. I mean, not a date, but on a dinner with me out of all people.
Yeah.
So
I was
men,
like, know
men
your
can
audience.
be hoes, but women can't.
Right. I was like, listen, it's okay for you to have these viewpoints if that's just you as a human being,
yeah,
but know your audience, fam.
yeah.
Like, do you know who you
Do
came
your
to-
research. Well, he probably
did.
did.
He knew that.
He probably did his.
I think you know, to try to evaluate it from a different
Sure.
perspective, because we
Yeah.
all obviously understand.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
We're on the
I
same
want,
page,
I
but it's
want,
just like,
I
that's
want the
stupid,
other
right?
perspective.
Yeah.
I think that is just an immature sort of stance, right?
Yeah.
Because I've had that stance when I was probably little, where I'm just like, oh, I hate female rappers. But realistically, I'm just thinking about the ones that I'm listening to or that come in my way, right? I'm not actually dissecting into hip hop and the people that made it what it is, and you know, the real sort of MCs that are out there that are incredible lyrically and all this, right?
Go off.
So that's me maturing into a craft, into an art. I don't care who is making the craft. If you're good lyrically, if you're, you know, a good performer,
Right.
whatever the case might be, as an artist, if you are creative, if you are entertaining, that's what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
For this stance, I think that he's not alone. He's not alone.
Yeah, no, of
There's
course
a lot
not.
of people that feel that way and they don't really know. I think it's just like kind of, it comes from a place of just ignorance, one, right? Which we just talked about. But then also a little bit of like, what would you say? Like, well, I guess that's not being self-aware too, because you're like, what did you think was going to happen by saying that comment that you're going to agree with her? But ultimately, it's just like he's not comfortable yet with himself.
How old is this person?
32.
Okay, that I'm 33, and I think that's like if he was to say, you know, I hate today's female rappers, I would totally understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Like if you were to go back in like early 2000s, 90s, like you could have said
And what that means is like mainstream,
mainstream, yeah,
whatever exists out there. that you're
yeah.
saying.
So you know, but today, like I understand, like you know, some of the songs are just they're really catchy. Like I would go to the club and dance on them, like hands down. But there's no meaning behind it, right? Ratchet song, like you know, you have the WAP and all that stuff. I would still listen to it, but I'm not gonna go as far as like, oh man, these female rappers suck. Like all of them,
I hate female rappers.
Yeah, if I were to pick one of them, I'd say yeah, you know, Lil what's her name? Nicki Minaj sucks. Really like what's her name? Iggy Azalea. Even though she's okay,
Yeah.
I just find her physically attractive. I'm like, yeah, I like her. And Stallion, whatever her name is.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, she's pretty attractive. I like her. That's her style.
I like how
whatever.
you like the females rappers that you think are physically
Yeah,
attractive.
you know,
Okay.
it's about that thing. But yeah, I think this person might be. Maybe he might have picked his wording wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't actually meant that. But if you
Are you mansplaining?
I had a friend say like the exact same thing. Like we were in the car and the one of the artist's song was playing. He's like, man, I hate female rappers. And then he skips it and it's DaBaby and he blasts that. And like DaBaby's super, you know, like sexual and all that
Yeah.
stuff in his songs. And I'm like, all right, what about this?
yeah,
That's what it is, right? That's what it is about female rappers that people don't like when they are being sexually explicit. That's the main sort of
They're
turn
raunchies
off
was
for
his
people, right?
answer.
Yeah, and like as you mentioned, like Lil Wayne, he is very much the male version of that sort of thing. I mean, the Lollipop song and all that, like we were singing since we were middle schoolers. We didn't really understand it back then that much, but like I think at this age, things like that would make me equally just be like, yeah, I'm not listening to this like by myself. I don't really feel like it. In a club, like you were saying,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, in a party environment, whatever. It's cool, but like I want substance, right? That's what you're
Right.
basically saying when
Right.
I'm by myself. Sometimes I'm feeling like I want to party and have
Yeah.
fun. Sometimes I feel like yeah, I can't put this on. Like, it's too much for me.
Like literally, if I'm driving here by myself, I'm not gonna be blasting like, oh yeah, like twerking and stuff. I'm like, I want to make my drive meaningful.
Like, I don't listen to Future, and that and a lot of it
I
has
would
to do with
say
that
that,
because I hate it. Like, I don't understand the obsession with Future.
Yeah.
I get that he's like lit and he makes all these songs.
I think
but
that's perfectly fine to have a preference if you had one better wording. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like I don't prefer like listening to female rap because I don't maybe relate to it as much.
Right.
Like that's why I like female rap because I can relate to it. It's like, you know, more fun, like woman, whatever. It's like it's an inner feeling. So maybe you can't relate to it, whatever it is, or maybe you know, oh, I don't listen to a lot of it because whatever. But one, you know who you came with. Two, you know what you said. And so in pure Amber fashion,
So-
what do you think I did for the whole rest of the dinner?
You give him a second date.
No. What?
You're
You stayed quiet.
I sang word for word with the DJ songs for the rest of the night, just not giving a shit. I
Damn.
was like, every song that came on, I was like, oh, this one's fire. I know you don't get it, but this one's actually really good.
Damn.
Maybe if you gave it a chance, you could get it. But it's actually
Okay.
a really
Was he
fire song.
I
uncomfortable?
know.
No, he thought it was funny that I was like,
So there you go. He was impressed by it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you changed his mind.
I think
Yeah, maybe.
So at the end of it, I like said a like jab joke where I was like, "Well, I know you don't appreciate female rappers, but like this is actually like really good and whatever." And he was like, "Okay, I didn't mean it like that."
There
like
you
I,
go.
you know, and he like tried to take it
Nah, he
all
meant
back.
it like
People
that.
change.
He meant it like that.
He like took it all back or whatever, and I was like, "You said what you said, sir. Stay
Yeah.
over there." No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, that's an even weaker stance after he changes his opinion after like.
Yeah.
I think
You're
Hadi
saying-
needs to give him some dating advice.
He judged the book way too early. He should have waited, read a couple of pages, and then like, you know what? I don't like Nicki Minaj, but I can go for other rapper girls.
Or maybe like find a girl who's not literally rapping female rappers like daily on her
so
story.
because of that one incident, you don't want to give him a second chance or
to be
date.
okay again,
Yeah, like,
it
is that
wasn't-
your cutoff?
I mean, to me, it lacked a huge amount of awareness.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a huge red flag.
That's a huge
in,
red flag.
in multiple
Yeah, that's
cases.
true. That's true.
And it's not just your stance. I would respect your stance if it was worded better,
Yeah.
but it was your wording and your stance. And again, I do want to clarify that I don't think it was I don't know if he thought it was a date either.
He definitely
I
did.
thought we were just getting dinner.
Okay,
No, we're just getting
what if
dinner.
he said, "Okay, I still hate the female rappers, but I think you could have been the best one"? Something like this. Like he made a joke
He
about
said
it.
that.
Oh,
Really?
He said that.
Oh, damn.
he-
It wasn't me, guys.
Hadi's texting on the side.
He was like, no, I'm not trying to come at your stuff. Like, I think what you do is good, but like, in all these female rappers, like, nah. And I was like, that doesn't make it better. That just makes like you're just trying to like, you know, be sweeter on the side of
That
me.
is true, yeah.
But
He's trying to save the date. That's
the
what he's
date,
doing.
yep.
He's like,
save
let
the
me,
dinner. And again, I would strictly look at him as a friend, and I did before, but like going forward, like it's not like I was any more impressed by him as a person. And I was like, okay,
Did
know
you
what?
guys
I
split
know-
the bill at least?
I'll let him pay.
Oh, let's go. Let's
That's a yikes.
You know.
I'm just kidding. I offered my card 4 times.
Okay, that's good.
I offered
there you
it
go.
4
I was gonna
times.
say that's good because
Yeah, and other times I would force my card in there, but I was like, no. I was like,
Oh.
I was like, really? I was like, no, like for real, like put it in. Oh no, okay, fine.
put it in. Okay.
fine.
You need to change the word. Put it in.
We
Yeah, put the card in the. Boy, bye.
we need Hadi's hotline for some like anybody
Yeah,
who's
like
on
if you're
a
on a
date.
date,
in the
you go to
middle.
the bathroom and go
Let's
like
make
one
it. Let's make an
800.
ad.
Dude,
we make
let's do
Hadi's
it.
hotline where like. Are you stuck in a date where
Yeah.
you think it's going downhill? Call Hadi's hotline.
1-800
It's kind of like the movie.
HADI.
It's kind of like the movie Ugly
Hitch?
Truth.
Oh,
Remember with Draw
Isn't
Butler?
Hitch-
I didn't watch that
No,
one.
Ugly Truth is another one.
I'll-
Hitch is another one, but Ugly Truth is another one where he has a TV show and he teaches guys how to pick up girls. And one of the hosts, he's like, yeah, you're probably nerdy reading books. And she's like, oh my God, that's me. It's a really good movie. It would probably get canceled in today's culture, but you should watch it. It's a really good, funny movie.
There we go. That's what we need.
Ugly Truth.
Solid.
All right, that's our time for today. We gotta keep this going, and you gotta come back another time.
Dude,
because
I'm
this
down,
this
man.
is
That was
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Unless you know they decide to cancel you, but
Yeah.
we'll bring you back. Don't worry.
Yeah, pretty cancelable.
We're all trying to get canceled on the show, so
It's all good. It's all good.
it'll be good. No, thank you for
Can
coming.
we talk
by.
about gins next time?
We'll talk about.
I'm down.
Yeah, Jins, whatever. We had
That's
so many
amazing.
other topics, but
All right. Next time. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Next
we got to
time.
go watch Quiet Place 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Excited about
I've never
that.
seen the
so
first one.
We'll let you guys know how that is next time.
Yep.
If it's good. Otherwise, no. Anyways, Hadi, thank you for coming by.
Thank
Hope
you,
you guys
guys.
all enjoy the new set. We're going to keep these coming out rest of the year. And for everybody listening, thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
It's easy to speak out about the way I live, but it's a 24-karat dream.